going on, everybody? Welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Hopefully today we will have a conclusion to the 2015 Ford Fiesta temperature blend door issue. If you are watching this video and you haven't seen not the last but the last two vlogs about the situation, we kind of went down, a whole rabbit hole in regards to really figuring out what the exact issue is. My initial suspicion was, of course, the blend door, temperature blend door actuator. The Ford Fiestas have a really long history of failed actuators in the dashboard. On our very own Fiesta, I have replaced every single one, one of them multiple times even, but this is the first time that the temperature blend door appears to be at fault. When the issue came about, basically the car is still stuck in heat mode, and my initial thought was it needs a blend door actuator because they all seem to go out. But here's the kicker. I tried to find it on my own on the first day, and turns out some of the information that I was reading said that the dashboard has to be removed to get to it. So I kind of gave up on that just in case it wasn't that actuator, because I'm not tearing a dashboard apart, especially that takes time. So I was like, let's make sure maybe that's it. Let's look for any other problems. We hooked our scan tool up. There was a code for a cabin temperature sensor that was open, had an open in it. Intermittently, it seemed. So I thought maybe that might have something to do with it being stuck in heat. If the car has no idea what the temperature is, maybe it's an automatic default thing. So we did locate a cabin temp sensor from a junkyard vehicle, another Fiesta. It is working. It's still working. It's working a lot better than the one that we did take out. So that's one problem that we kind of solved, but it did not solve the original issue. So then I decided to try to get as much access to the temperature blend door as possible, as much as I can. And what I ended up doing was taking the glove box out. We're going to do it here in a little bit, but taking the glove box out and carefully removing the actual air duct that is on the side of that box, the blower box or climate box, whatever you want to call it. And sure enough, the actuator is right there. I didn't really look enough to see if we can change it in that little cavity. There's not a whole lot of room, it looks like. Maybe there is, I don't know. We'll find out. But I was able to actually unplug the connector and plug our new actuator in, and basically that led to a whole other thing, because that actuator wasn't working, just being plugged in. Scan tool data wasn't changing, and yeah, it just led me to an actual pinpoint test where I actually went through with the meter and checked all of the circuits on the actual Ford pinpoint test, got down to the part where it said check actuator functionability, and basically if the actuator don't work, replace it. So I put the new one back in, and it did turn, but I've come to realize, and I wish I had noticed this to begin with, they sold me the wrong actuator at the parts store, which the cheap price should have really given it away. I thought maybe it was just because it was a aftermarket part. So we ended up with the wrong actuator. Had I had the correct actuator and went to do the test where I unplugged it from the original and plugged the new one in, it probably would have worked just fine. Therefore concluding the fact that we need a blend door temperature blend door actuator. I have a slight migraine today. I do. It came on just as I was leaving work. So really the last thing I want to do today is get this issue resolved, but at the same time I do want to get it resolved. So yesterday I did have one of the local Ford dealerships order me the correct $70 some blend door, temperature blend door actuator. It is here. It came in today. So if you need this for your Ford Fiesta, here's your part number. The top number there is the Motorcraft number, but the one here that begins with AV, that is the actual Ford number. So if you need that part, then this is it. It is the temperature blend door actuator. It's got the gear on it and everything. So while we still have some daylight left, let's go resolve this. Alright folks, I know for the people who watched the last two vlogs this is pretty repetitive, but if you're somebody who is actually looking for, you know, an answer on fixing this particular issue, then I'm going to give you a quick rundown of exactly what's going on. So, like I said, the climate controls, the temperature control stuck in heat mode. If we look at the live data of the that particular actuator, you will see here, left blend door position percentage and blend door position, you know, cold, warm, hot. So it says the blend door is 98% you know, hot. And when we go to turn our climate controls on, it is still on high, as you can see. I do have the car running because I do want, you know, there to be heat. So when we go to turn this down, you can see that the positioning is not changing at all. It still says hot. If we go to left set temperature right here, it's in Celsius, but you'll see it says 15 degrees Celsius, which in this case is considered low. If we start turning this up, you see it changes also. So the max heat setting is 30 degrees Celsius, and that's back to high. So that's basically what it got stuck on or quit working at. And as mentioned, none of these positioning percentages are changing at all. Like I said, I replaced that sensor, cabin temp sensor, which is right through that little vent right there. That sensor is still working, so it is reading at 22 degrees Celsius, which is probably, I don't know, 60 some degrees inside. It is 71 what the car is saying, but it's been sitting a while, so it's probably a little cooler than that. But still, it's got good voltage, and we've got some pretty good temperature readings now. So like I said, I was on a rabbit hole. I went down a rabbit hole trying to test all this stuff simply because I got the wrong part. So yeah, that blend door actuator is behind this dash panel here. We took all this stuff out here. You still can't get to it. I still have the lower panel down. Obviously you can't get to it through there either. So what we're going to try to do again is we're going to remove the glove box, and we're going to try to, you know, get access to it through there. Now, like I said, I know we can see it. It's a matter of knowing if we can actually replace it through there or not. Removing the glove box on this car is pretty easy. Just open it up and squeeze in on the sides here. It'll drop down. Then you just pull it down off of the plastic little things there. And here, like I said, this is a pretty small space, but this is our vent right here that I was talking about. If you remove the lower hush panel like I did, I took it down the other day and haven't put it back. What you can do is remove that, and we're going to just kind of wiggle this off of here. See, it's right here. And that's it. So it comes apart right there. And then you just gotta try to snake it out. Like that. And now the air's blowing right here. And now you need to remove this one. So this one I just kind of wiggled and pulled straight back. Be careful because there was a wiring harness right here over top of it. Kind of move it out of the way. Pull, pull, wiggle, wiggle. And then we just got that off there. And there, right there, uh-oh, I need to get a flashlight, but right there where that little red lock is, that's the actuator. That is it. So there it is. Now it kind of looks like we may be able to pull this off. It's the bottom part that I'm a little worried about. So there's a screw there, and then there's 2 more screws on the bottom. I didn't see that harness there before. That's my hand reaching. Okay, hold on. Well, we could probably move that. We might be able to get to, well, maybe, can we? We may be able to get the bottom screws through the opening here at the bottom. Maybe. Let's see what we've got. It may very well be possible. Okay, but the first things first, I am going to unplug that again. Try to get that light to stand up. There we go. So I'm going to unplug this harness again. And we're going to plug it into the new one. And by God, this thing better change. So there's, oh, sorry. So there's a red lock on it. You just pull it up. That will unlock the clip to push and unplug. Now when we unplug that, you can see our values change to 100%. That must be what it reads when it's, you know, all open circuited. And now we're gonna open this guy up. I don't know what position this is in, but it being on high, set to high right now on the dashboard, either way we should get a response. Man, I really hope we can get this through there. All right. So we're gonna plug this in. We got the gear on it, so we should be able to see everything. All right. Well, look at that. So that one set to 51%. It's in the warm position. So if I just sit there for a second. All right. So when we're gonna change this. It's moving. Well, it moved too much, but there we go. It is working. Now it is set all the way to cold. And if we start turning it, oh, it is only at cold. There it goes. 100% hot. There we go. Look at that. It's a beautiful thing. Yes. All right, guys. So we can officially confirm that yes, the actuator indeed was the problem. Now we have to play the game of getting it out and getting this one in there. Like I said, I can't see a whole lot. The dashboard is in my way, so kind of have to rely on the camera a little bit to you know, let me know where we're at. So that thing looks like it's gonna go in at this angle right here. The gear that we see right there, that is the gear on the door itself. Just so you know. So we are gonna have to line these teeth up. So there's a screw that's gonna go here. And then, like I said, I believe 2 more down there. And then there is a little alignment key shaped like an L. You can see it on the box. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car off now for the moment, because all I'm doing is blowing heat out at me. Now we have to figure out what size screws these are. These are Torx bits. And I know we're not going to be able to use these for all of these, but I did bring them out here because I wanted to see what size they were. This is a 25. 25, it looks like it's too big. So we have a 20. I bet it's probably 20. Oh, the edge of the dashboard's got it. Ah, T20. Look at that. Alright, so T20. So I have to go downstairs and try to find something that'll ratchet, or something that will get me to those other 2 screws. This whatever harness is here. Hold on. So I'm gonna stick you guys down in there for a second so I can see. Where's the other screw at? I see that yellow thing. So that yellow thing's, I can see that on the bottom of the dashboard. The lower panel. So one of those screws has to be right there. Alright, hold on guys. I'm sorry for all the crappy camera angles. This guy? No. It's weird, I can see the bottom. I just can't see the bottom. Hope there's nothing else covering this that I literally can't get to. Something else has to come off, maybe. I hope not. This would have been so easy. There is no other screws holding that thing on. Is there? No way. I felt the hole on that actuator where the screw would go. Did I not? Am I just making... No, it's right there. I'm so confused, guys. So there must only be 2 screws holding that on. But where's the other one? Something's not adding up here. It's right there. Yeah, that guy right there. So is that it? It's just that and that? Interesting. Okay. Okay, so can we... I know the screwdriver won't fit there at that angle. Let me go get a ratchet. Let's see if we can ratchet that thing out of there. Okay, so I know you guys can't see anything right now because I barely can too. So the last screw is right up against the dashboard frame, and everything that I have doesn't fit. So what I did was I took a T20 bit, wrapped it around some plastic, and I took a small 1/4 inch box wrench. And this fits for me, but I've gotten 2 turns out of it so far. There we go. it's gonna take some time. Maybe once I get it loose enough, I can use my fingers. It's dark out now. I'm at the point where I'm pretty sure untighten this with my finger. Holy crap. Dashboard out my. I've got another idea. Alright, so we're gonna plug the new one in, and I'm gonna turn it to cold instead, because it's easier to push that door down than it is to try to keep it up in this hot position. Alright, so let's go ahead and get it to cold. As cold as it'll go. And now let's try to put it in. Okay, so the first time I had it in there, having it all the way to one temperature does not work. So you kind of have to put the thing, I had it set to around 53%, and then I manually kind of, you know, pushed the actual door over so it looked like it was kind of in the middle, because the specific spacing in those gears have to line up. So finally, it feels like that blend door is sitting flush, and yeah, everything feels a lot better at this time. I didn't have this problem when I did my brother's Fusion, but it was also a little easier to get to compared to this. Alright, so that guy's tight, and it's sitting on the other stud where the screw goes in. I'm going to plug it in. I want to make sure that it's going to move okay. I think it's the other way. Yeah. Okay. So right now, 54% warm. It is definitely blowing colder air. 67 outside right now. Get the air on, and yeah, so it's definitely, you know, we got it cold now. And if I, like I said, if I go to the hot, you know, it stops at about there. It is fixed. And my head is killing me. It's fixed. As I suspected, this thing was the issue the entire time, as I thought it was, and it just kind of sent us on all kinds of paths to nowhere. So, but I guess this does prove that yes, you can do this without tearing the dash apart. It is just, you know, a lot more complicated, you know, than it would be if you had access to the entire blower. I mean, if you had access to the entire thing, you could probably actually see where those gears are supposed to line up together, you know. But yeah, I don't know. And like I said, it seems to be doing okay. Yeah, it seems to be going through the positions all right. Hopefully it doesn't break again, because like I said, that one there in particular is not that cheap. that is it. I'm done, guys. I'm tired and my head's killing me. So, but yes, it's finally done. It's fixed. Hooray. Alright guys, it's the next day. I really wasn't feeling too well after doing that job, so I really wasn't too happy with the ending of the vlog. So we're gonna do another one here real quick. But yeah, so as of right now, yes, everything is 100% back to normal with that climate control system. When they say dash out, you know, it is possible to do it without taking the dash out. That one screw was the big problem that just was really time consuming on getting out. And the only other issue was lining up the teeth on the climate control door and on the actuator itself. So that did take me a couple of tries, but once it was lined up perfectly, that actuator just, you know, went right in to the dowels, that it, you know, the alignment tabs, and we were able to screw it down, and it seems to be working 100%. So that's it. Hopefully this video helps you if you have this problem. I really didn't see anybody do any videos on this particular actuator, probably because of the fact that they say it's dash out, but I don't know. I think I just kind of wanted to prove it to myself too, that we can do it without taking the dash apart, or taking it out. And we did. It was just a little challenging, but it's all good now. So that problem's resolved, and like I said, it took me down a crazy rabbit hole, but that was my initial idea. My initial thought was that that actuator is done for, just like all of the other ones that we've replaced also. So yeah, I guess I could say I've replaced all those actuators on that box now. That's it, guys. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe if you did enjoy this, and particularly if it helped you out at all. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.